For more content like this, log on to GibboPresents.com.
It's Gibbo, and right now I'm joined by Kumar, the lead singer of one of Jamaica's most promising acts, Raging Fyah. Kumar, how are you?
Blessed love, Gibbo. Give thanks, Rasta.
Let's start with the new album, Everlasting. Can you explain the significance of the title? Do you guys feel this is a body of work people will be listening to for years to come?
Yeah, that's how we feel, That's how we feel. And I think this new album, we stayed as close as possible, to the root while trying to explore, other genres in terms of, fusing, some sounds into Raging Fyah, So I think this is something that the fans will really listen to for a very long time, Seeing that we started out with Judgment Day, then Destiny, Everlasting, the third.
It was recorded at Tough Gong Studios. Can you talk me through the recording process in as much detail as possible? Because I think many people will be unfamiliar with the process a group goes through recording an album live, as I believe you did here.
All right. First and foremost, the music, in terms of lyrics, have always been on the table, We're constantly writing music. For example, a song on the album Happiness was written in 2012, in Switzerland, We were in Switzerland and we were feeling cold that day and we just decided to sing. So we had that song, but we didn't record it, until now. The time is right for it now, So the process really starts with the lyrics. So from we have the lyrics at most times, we'll have those songs probably by recording it on a little phone or something, And then we'd actually come and rehearse, because that is key. Practice makes permanent. So you find that before we even think about going to the studio, we come and we rehearse these songs that, we have on our devices or stored wherever, and just rehearse the better songs until we're sure of probably 20 songs. And then we head to Tough Gong, that's another 2-week process, and we just record all these tracks, Then the following recording the music for the tracks now, then we head to, the next stage where I would go in and sing all the songs, and harmonic structures. And then the next process is actually mixing the record, And after you mix the record, this is where now you're going to say, right, here we have about 17 tune, 18 tune, we could select about 11. And a man say, no, I could do 13. A man say, no, 12. So you find that, everybody pick songs now because, we have a lot of material to work with. So you find it's quite interesting, and then you really decide you're going to master your album. So it worked.
The album was produced by Lamar Riffraff Brown. I'm sure you guys could have worked with pretty much any producer you wanted. Why was he the right man for the job?
All right. Well, Lamar now. We know Lamar for years. In the past, when I just started out in the music, before Raging Fyah, I used to be around Lamar and Notice Production at the time. So we have a long working relationship. And then Lamar and Anthony and Pele and Demar from Raging Fyah all went to school together at Edna Manley College. They were in the same class. So, from then, I think everybody saw that Lamar was special, in terms of, him actually, his instrument and his hearing, he's really talented. So, Stephen Marley, adapted him and, he's actually touring with Stephen Marley and actually produced records for Stephen Marley. So, after seeing that, we realized that why not work with somebody, of the youth, to actually, empower reggae music in this time. So big up Lamar Riffraff. Yeah, man.
There were no featured artists on either of your first two albums, Judgment Day and Destiny. J Boog, Busy Signal and Jesse Royal all make appearances on Everlasting. Why did you decide to break from precedence and include other artists on this release?
Well, everlasting, you know. I mean, we have to. I mean, the music can only grow. And I mean, our first two records, our first two installments into reggae music, I think, you know, are a good account for ourselves in terms of what Raging Fyah is capable of doing, you know, with roots rocking reggae music. So linking up with Lamar, you know, that's a collaborative effort in terms of our sound. Linking up with J Boog, that's another great effort. And Busy Signal and Jesse Royal. I mean, we're sharing fans likewise. We're gaining fans with them as well, and fans are hearing our music as well as their fans are saying, "Who is Raging Fyah?" So, I mean, it's the age of sharing, you know. It's the age of actually collaborating with artists, and as a band, we've, you know, let people know that we're a band, you know, and not a backing band, because we were struggling with that over the years, where people would think that, oh, Raging Fyah, which artist in a play for, you know. But at the end of the day, we really wanted people to realize that, yeah, we're like a Morgan Heritage, you know, we're like a Steel Pulse, we're really Raging Fyah, we're a band. Because Jamaicans had a hard time understanding that, as well as, you know, Jamaicans abroad, you know, in the diaspora. Most people didn't really get the picture, but I think, you know, we've showed them that now. So actually teaming up with musicians and artists alike is a really good step for Raging Fyah, you know.
Busy Signal appears not once but twice on the album. How long have you known him for?
Well, we've known Busy for a long time, you know, but in terms of actually, you know, being around him and keeping the link, we weren't that close. But being in studio at Big Yard, you know, Lamar, Riff Raff Brown, worked with him already. So we were all there one day, and, you know, Busy was like, yo, I tuned the body, you know, the Would You Love Me? And Busy said, yeah, man, hold on, run it again, you know, and he really just gave us a strength on that song. And then, because we had the idea for actually, you know, bringing him in on Live Your Life with J Boog, you know, because we heard, you know, he's a really passionate person and a very talented artist. I think he's one of Jamaica's best, you know, DJ, you know, Busy Signal. So it's great having him on the album, you know. Yeah, man.
Everlasting comes courtesy of Dub Rockers, which is an imprint of VP Records. Can you explain what differentiates Dub Rockers from the rest of the label, and why is your label, or your album I should say, being released through it?
All right, well, really and truly, what I think happened is that VP Records is trying to, you know, rebrand, you know, itself in terms of what's happening in the US, you know, with reggae music. And I think Dub Rockers is just a leg of actually getting into what's happening over in California, you know, with the reggae bands over there, because they're playing reggae music. California Roots, we're heading there this Wednesday, you know, we're playing on Sunday night. And it's a really big festival in California that, you know, attracts a lot of, you know, fans of reggae music. So I think VP is trying to get into that space, you know, because there's a whole lot happening over there. And the original setup of VP Records as, you know, reggae music from Jamaica, roots rocking, and even dancehall and soca music in Trinidad, I think, you know, missed that aspect of the music, because it's brand new. It's like 5-6 years old, you know, happening over there. So I think that's the reason mainly why Raging Fyah, you know, album is coming out on that label, because we just finished a tour with Stick Figure, Unfortunate Youth, who are bands from California, you know, and they have a really huge following in the US. And we're on a 34 date tour with them, you know, last month, which, you know, went really well for Raging Fyah, you know. So, Dub Rockers, you know, it's brand new, you know, can only see where it leads.
I want to ask you a little bit more about that tour you just mentioned. You toured the US along with Stick Figure and Fortunate Youth. What, if anything, did you gain from the experience, having had the opportunity to observe how these American reggae acts conduct their business?
Well, I mean, they take a very, as I say, the word business, they're actually doing business. They have a very good approach in terms of, you know, touring. I really like how the American market is set up for touring, because, you know, in terms of merchandising and, you know, the deals that you get at each venue, and there's so many venues, you know, and good systems, you know, so you find that if a band is really dedicated and they decide to really invest in themselves, it's easy to tour the United States and actually get benefits, providing that you do it over a prolonged period of time, which is what Fortunate Youth and Stick Figure and Revolution and Soldier and Tribal Seeds, and there's so many to count. I mean, they've done it around the US a few times, and when you actually go on tour with these guys, you realize every night it's 1,500 people, you know, in each venue across the United States, no matter where, sold out concerts. So, and it's all because they've done the work, you know, on the ground, you know. So, yeah, it's a really good model that they have, and they sell merchandise, you know, and they're really equipped, you know, to sell merchandise, which is what I think Jamaican musicians and artists over the years, I don't think we really looked into that side of the business as a business aspect, you know. It's like, yeah, we have t-shirts on sale, yeah, but these guys have from a pin to an anchor, you know, and they have somebody selling it, and it's really well put together, and, you know, there's technology behind it, so don't worry about cash, you can use your card, you know. So all these things, you realize that they're really capitalizing on, you know, the business aspect of the market that they're in.
As well as selling a lot of merchandise and performing at a lot of shows, these American acts also dominate the Billboard Reggae Albums Chart. Why do you think this is the case? Why do we not see more releases from Jamaican artists feature in this countdown for a sustained period of time?
Well, I mean, it boils down to management, you know, and, you know, it's a whole ball game that I don't think the artists themselves and musicians themselves really have the answers to, because in this industry you might have the better song, you know, but the team behind the song in terms of getting it where it needs to be is not there. The investment to actually get the song, you know, beyond, because that's what it takes in this business, you know. It's always, you know, the team of people that is actually pushing, you know, to get the record where it needs to be. And if that's not there, then you find that Jamaican artists who have great songs, you're just going to go so far in terms of getting their record to a certain point. Because once your record breaks, you have to be prepared to work. And being prepared to work means having all the necessary documents and a lot of other things in place to actually go out there and work. And you have to be, you know, it's a whole thing that I think, you know, it's ethics. It's a whole lot of ethics and about business that I think we're missing out on, that we need to look into, and maybe we'll, you know, be up there.
Given your exposure to the American audience, are you expecting Everlasting to make an appearance on the Billboard Reggae charts? Is that your goal for this release?
No, I mean, that's not the goal, you know? That's not a goal of mine to say, oh, trying to make any Billboard or even, you know, reggae charts or whatever. The goal is to get the music into everybody's hand, you know, no matter what. I mean, they want to promote the sale of the album and everything, but we live in a digital age. People going to get a hold of the music. And I mean, at the end of the day, I can't stop people from doing that. And if the label can do it, then I don't know. But I would love for everybody to get this record, get this song, you know, and Judgment Day and Destiny likewise, because Raging Fyah, you know, want to keep playing roots rocking reggae music, you know, for the people for a very long time, you know, and even at home where people can come visit at our festival, Wiki Waki Music Festival, you know, because I mean, it's not just about actually touching the charts, because I really want to be in Jamaica and play music here and have the whole world traveling to Jamaica to come and watch some nice reggae music, if it's even one time for the year or two times for the year, under the right, you know, vibe. So it's a whole heap of different vision we have, man, for the music. So this album coming out is just, as I said, the third installment into what is already there, you know? Yeah, man.
As you will be well aware, earlier this year, Morgan Heritage won the Best Reggae Album Grammy. Given your relationship with Luke's and the fact that they are also a band, how inspiring was this for you?
Well, very, very inspiring, because, I mean, Morgan Heritage is the band that we look up to, you know, from school days. It's like, that's what we knew as a band of this era, you know, like the Morgan Heritage family. So when we realized Morgan Heritage really, you know, put the work in over the years, and they actually were rewarded with a Grammy, you know, it was a good feeling for the entire industry, you know, I would hope, you know, because we certainly felt good, and we're like, yeah, man, well deserved, you know, because, I mean, you've been working, you know, over the years, and you've done many records that were deserving of, you know, a Grammy in the past. So at the end of the day, we give thanks for that, man. And I mean, Raging Fyah, let's see. I mean, we're making the music let's see what it takes, to actually achieve all of that. We really want to get the music to everybody and keep touring, so that's the goal.
You and Morgan Heritage are, of course, two examples of self-contained groups known to reggae fans around the world. You talked earlier about the struggle to be seen as a self-contained unit and a group as opposed to a backing band. Why do we not see more bands get this type of recognition? What do they need to do in order to reach the status of yourselves and Morgan Heritage?
You see, it's time. Raging Fyah has been doing it for a while. Morgan Heritage has been doing it for a while. They have many great bands right now in Jamaica that are on the verge of actually getting out the recognition. Earthcry is doing really well, and they're fairly new, but they're actually, finding themselves in a spot where they realize where the market is shifting, where, reggae music is actually going, and they're putting themselves in that position to get the recognition. Pentatouche alike has been doing some work over the years, Roots Underground, Uprising Roots. So, it's just a matter of deciding where you want to actually drill. Because Europe for quite some time was Raging Fyah, touring on the ground. Not as much as we would like, but we actually did, the rounds in Europe, over 2 or 3 years, which really helped us to solidify ourselves, especially in Germany, with getting a fan base, that we say, okay, this is good. You actually feel like a band, So I think most bands now that are coming need to actually find somewhere, or find a spot that they know that, all right, this is where our fan base is. People love us here, and actually provide music for these people. Go there and actually tour and develop your following. And so it's really work, Yeah.
Be sure to go and purchase Everlasting, the new album from Raging Fyah, courtesy of Dub Rockers. 13 quality tracks with features from J Boog, Busy Signal, and Jesse Royal. Kumar, thanks a lot.
Yes, sir.
Before I let you go, is there anything else you'd like to mention or anyone you'd like to big up?
Yeah, man, well, you don't know no more, big up the whole of Raging Fyah. Them no inside right now still, but you don't know. And I studio rehearse every day, music all the while. So big up Pele, big up Anthony, don't know, big up Demar, big up Gizmo, and big up Sean P, you don't know, said we have big up everybody around the world. Big up Luke Morgan Management, Karen Lister in Canada, Jazal. So it's a whole team of Raging Fyah, Yeah, man, splash everybody. So we give thanks for life. Check out Raging Fyah, on www.ragingfyah.com. And you can link us on Twitter at Raging Fyah, Instagram at Raging Fyah, Facebook /Raging Fyah. Everlasting in stores. Check it out. Raging Fyah. We give thanks, More life, health, and strength, man. Yes, sir.
Gibbo presents